Fasting is a challenge, and solitude is a challenge. And it's a challenge that speaks to somebody in a very direct way. It's like, wow, I'm going to do something that's difficult. I'm going to do something that represents a sacrifice. In a deeper way, it communicates, I think, down to the core of who we are when our tummy is rumbling because we haven't eaten for a day or two, when we haven't seen another person and had that kind of contact. It's communicating with a very deep part of ourselves, like, wow, this guy is really looking for something. He's really ready. He's really giving up something to learn something new. Well, if he's doing this now, if she's doing this now, this person must be ready, and the deeper part of ourselves offers us something new, and that coincides with the offering that nature provides as well. When we show up in a good way, with our hearts are open and we're asking for something, something comes. That's a beautiful thing, and it's the seed. A seed is planted of really trusting ourselves in a much more profound way, of not just trusting, yeah, I can fill out applications well, and I know my math skills, and I trust myself, but really trusting ourselves to find our own path in the world.
What I love about taking people out in the wilderness is that it's just an opportunity for all of us, questers and guides, to be really real with each other and just come down to earth. The person that we present to the world is oftentimes not totally who we are. When we just get down to the heart of the matter, the simple truth of our beings and souls gets to come out more in the wilderness. And having fun, like fun from a really deep place, like from the belly, where you're just really laughing out loud and really embodying who you are in a real way. When you're out on a quest, it's both a journey of the individual and a journey of the collective. We're taking this quest together, and even though there's the solo time, that solo time is impacting the group. And then the beautiful, amazing experience of coming back from the solo and being reunited and rejoined by your peers, by now this tribe that's been forming. We're sitting around the fire and people are just hanging out, and maybe somebody pulls out a guitar and a drum, and before you know it, we're singing, and then it just kind of evolves into our own music. And that's the magic of these trips. It's the magic of when you combine all of the ingredients of a beautiful, wild, rugged place with the structure of our trip, with the ceremony of it, with the participants and the guides. And there's something that just clicks and a synergy happens, and you create a tribe out there. You create a tribe and a family, and really go deep.
Youth Quest trips. Usually the most lively and energized of any of the trips that I lead. Young people these days are so full of inspiration and ideas and possibilities, and yet they're often not given opportunities to really sit with what it is they want to do with all of that energy. The Youth Quest is that opportunity, and so you take this big ball of energy that sort of gets in a car and drives out and work with it for a number of days, and that energy tends to focus and then walk back out in a much different way. I'd say there's a lot more risk, sending your kid into the city for a weekend than there is sending him out to the wilderness for a week. It's really a very benign world that we live in, and there's really nothing that anybody couldn't handle if they knew what to do. When the parents are involved in a good way with the Vision Quest ceremony, it's a rite of passage as much for the parents as it is for the youth. They're learning that their child is an individual, and that this young person is actually going to leave the house and go out into the world and need to be trusted to make their own decisions. And so while the youth is taking on their own individuality and autonomy, the parents are letting go and recognizing that there's no choice but to recognize that that child is ready for a new stage of life, and therefore the parent becomes ready for it as well.